Good morning. This is Dr. McDaniel at GYN Corner. We're at the horse farm today. I'm a board certified obstetrician gynecologist in New York City. And I'm bringing to you everything health related for women. I caught the jumping, but I had to turn the phone around, so I don't yet know how to connect these videos. I have a editing app, so I'm gonna see if I can try to connect it just so it's not separate. But we're here every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. And Jill always goes first. Joy goes second. Joy's my younger daughter. She doesn't mind other people out with her, and usually around 8 o'clock a few other riders come out because there's a group lesson. Joy and Jill do private lessons. Jill hates riding. You saw how large the barn is. It's huge. It's behind me there. That's the barn. It's very large. And since we get here at 8, she has the barn to herself. But, I'm sorry, yeah, it's from 8 to 9. 8 to 9, she has the barn to herself. But, starting at 9, other people start to show up because there's class, group class, so it's not as easy. They get in and they start wandering around and warming up with their horses. We've been coming here for maybe 8 years. Let me see, Jill is 14. We've been here since she was 5. So, no, that would be 9 years. Yeah, we've been coming here for 9 years. Quick on the spot math. So, today I thought I would speak about some anti-inflammatory foods. I've been doing a lot of work over the last couple of years, since around 2017, with patients in the office who have a lot of hormonal issues. And I recently developed a program earlier this year, and with the office I had really good success with basically just an outline of the course that I developed. And the course is much more in-depth. It's a program, really. It's a course and a program. So I thought I would share a few of the things that I have in my program and that I've been counseling the patients for over the last 3 years, so that people are aware, because I found over the last couple of years things that seem obvious to me are not good to eat or are better to eat isn't so obvious to everyone. And a lot of times people go, oh yeah, so I know that's good for me. Sometimes I think if you understand why something's good for you, it's easier to follow that pathway. And in the last couple of months, I kind of trailed off of my own regimen. I had lost 40 pounds a few years ago just following the regimen that I've been recommending. And I fell off the wagon and fell into some old habits, and I stopped losing weight. I actually gained about 15 of it back, 15 to 20 almost back. And in the last month and a half to 2 months, I've started pulling it together again. And it doesn't involve exercise. I just do some stretching. That's it. And I walk. And it doesn't involve strenuous type of dietary changes. So in the last month and a half to 2 months, I've lost another 20 pounds, and I'm gonna stay on the straight and narrow to lose another. Do I want to lose another 40 pounds? Actually, I want to lose like another 50 pounds. So I decided to share a few things. I have them written down because, needless to say, I don't want to forget anything. So I thought first, I'll go over some. Sorry, I dropped my mic. Not too well adapted to this. I thought first I would do some inflammatory foods, some things that we should avoid, try to eliminate from our body, because in the program that's really the first thing. The program's nice because I go in detail. Obviously I'm going to give a 5-6 minute overview, but in the program I go in detail, and we do weekly progress calls so that I can help guide people. So there's a cat over there. It's a barn cat. I know they had bought 1 or 2 barn cats for mice that were starting to build up. Alright, so inflammatory foods are sugars. So any kind of refined sugar, obviously white sugar, brown sugar, high fructose corn syrup is another one. And these are considered inflammatory because they increase the body's immune system inflammatory response to them. And I think a lot of people know that sugar is not good for you because it also ruins, or what we call glycates. So glycates or ruins our body organs and tissues if it's at elevated levels for prolonged amounts of time. And artificial fats such as trans fats, the trans fats have slowly but surely been eliminated from commercial use in restaurants, fast food restaurants, because they have been shown to cause cancer in the long run. So they used to always use trans fats for frying. So all of the major fast food places would use trans fats to fry their sorry, I have allergies out here, I'm getting itchy, to fry their french fries, their pies, apple pies, cherry pies, to fry hash browns, everything that was fried, they would use the trans fats. It's partially hydrogenated oils. Another trans fat that a lot of people don't think about are the shortenings, the white shortenings, such as Crisco and some of the other ones in that elk. They're the same thing. They're partially hydrogenated oils. Margarine is another one, so it's really not good to eat margarine. If you want butter, just use real butter. Real butter is actually good for you in moderation. Margarine is not. And then in order to maintain shelf life, a lot of food companies will use the partially hydrogenated oils for packaged baked goods such as cookies, cakes. That's the main ones. I don't know. Cupcakes, all of that. So if you go to like the dollar stores or something, you see that whole line of packaged baked goods. If you check, I'm sure they all have partially hydrogenated oils in them still because it maintains their shelf life. And what all of these oils, what this oil does is it increases inflammatory markers in the bloodstream, so it's well documented. And it also acts to decrease high density lipoprotein, or the HDL, which is the good cholesterol. Even certain vegetable oils, such as soybean oil and palm oil. Those are high in omega-6, and we are supposed to keep our ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, when omega-3 is in like fatty fish and nuts. We're supposed to keep that ratio with a low, I think it's supposed to be a 1 to 3 ratio, so low on omega-6 and higher on omega-3. If you eat these oils, and a lot of people buy those palm oils and soybean oils because they think they're better than, say, using lard or ghee or something, they're not. Lard, ghee, duck fat, those all are anti-inflammatory, so they don't increase inflammatory markers and basically stressors in the body. I think a lot of people know the air quotes white foods, so starches and flours and breads. Those are all refined carbohydrates, and refined carbohydrates increase the growth of inflammatory gut bacteria, and they also spike blood sugar levels in our bloodstream, so they can increase circulating glucose levels and cause that glycation I was talking about. And when you increase the blood sugar levels, you also increase insulin, which causes fat deposition, and it also increases inflammatory changes in the body, so not good at all. Excessive alcohol, so mild or social alcohol does not seem to cause an issue, but excessive alcohol is similar to the effects of refined carbohydrates because it's turned into glucose. So a lot of people ask what's too much alcohol. So really, it's usually considered more than 4 to 5 drinks a week. So 4 to 5 drinks a week is a little more than social drinking. And I spoke previously about processed meats. Processed meats usually have the nitrites and the nitrates, and they can induce inflammatory changes, markers in the bloodstream. So if you limit your processed meats to once or twice a week, and we discussed in the previous episode that's a serving is 1 ounce, that will help also to decrease inflammation and its detrimental effects. So I think that's everything on my list. I'm just trying to look and see, because I write my notes in different areas sometimes, so it kind of gets all over the place. But the big ones to remember are the sugars, alcohol, carbs, oils. And I didn't mention it with the carbs, but obviously candy and most desserts. And what I also forgot to mention is fruits, especially bananas, pineapples. Those are high in sugar. And fructose, high levels or frequent consumption of fructose, which is the sugar in fruit, actually is worse than table sugar. Fructose spikes the blood glucose levels higher than sucrose does, which is table sugar. So you definitely want to limit your consumption of fruits. The main fruits that have a low glucose spike or a low glycemic index are berries. So if I eat a fruit, I'll eat blueberries or raspberries and sometimes strawberries. That's it. I don't eat bananas anymore. I haven't eaten bananas in about 3 to 4 years. Pineapples either. It's just too much sugar for one shot. So I hope that's been helpful information. It's been a little bit longer than I thought it would be on inflammatory foods to avoid, to minimize, or to completely eliminate from your diet. And The next few episodes, I'll speak on some anti-inflammatory foods. So thank you for joining me here at GYN Corner. This is Dr. McDaniel. Click the like, follow, subscribe buttons if you enjoy the content. Have a great rest of your day. And don't forget, we have a YouTube channel. It's also GYN Corner and the podcast GYN Corner on all of the usual podcast platforms. Thanks. Bye.